Amara's home used to be filled with quiet laughter and soft mornings, the kind where the sun entered through the curtains gently, touching the walls like it had permission. She was a tall, beautiful woman, graceful in the way she moved, with a warm smile that made people feel safe. Her husband, Michael, was known as a responsible and respected man, and together they lived what many admired as a peaceful family life. Their daughter, Chisom, was only 3 years old, small, curious, and always clinging to her mother's legs. Amara loved her deeply, the kind of love that made her forget herself. Every night, she carried Chisom to bed, whispering prayers over her tiny head, asking God to protect her family. But slowly, something began to change. Michael started coming home late. His smiles disappeared. His words became short, sharp, and careless. At first, Amara thought he was tired. She tried to be patient. She tried to talk. She tried to understand. But each attempt only pushed him farther away. Then, the shouting started. It came suddenly, like thunder in a clear sky. Small arguments turned into loud accusations. Michael's voice would rise, filling the house with fear. Chisom would cover her ears, crying, while Amara stood frozen, confused by the man standing before her. The first slap came on a night Amara would never forget. She fell to the floor, her ears ringing, her heart pounding in disbelief. That was the moment she realized the home she trusted was no longer safe. The shouting became frequent, the beatings became worse, bruises became normal. One night, Michael lost control completely. He beat Amara until her body could no longer fight. She lay on the floor, weak and shaking, her vision fading in and out. From the corner of the room, Chisom cried helplessly, calling out, "Mommy, Mommy." That night, something inside Amara broke forever. And without knowing it, her life had already taken a turn she could never return from. Amara did not plan her escape. There was no bag packed, no money saved, no goodbye letter written. She only knew one thing: if she stayed, she would die. That night, after Michael finally stepped out of the house, Amara dragged herself to the bathroom. Her face was swollen, her lips were split, her body ached in places she could not even touch. She looked at her reflection and barely recognized the woman staring back at her. She thought of Chisom. Her heart shattered, but fear was louder than love in that moment. With trembling legs, Amara slipped out of the house and ran into the darkness. Every step felt like betrayal. Every breath felt heavy. She did not look back because she knew if she did, she would not have the strength to keep going. She traveled to another state and stayed with a distant friend who took her in without questions. For weeks, Amara barely spoke. She woke up from nightmares soaked in sweat, hearing Michael's voice in her head and Chisom's cries echoing in her ears. Healing was slow. She took small jobs, cleaning, cooking, selling little items, anything to survive. Some days she cried while walking. Some nights she cried herself to sleep, but she refused to give up. Months turned into years. Amara grew stronger. She learned a skill. She started a small business. Slowly, her life began to make sense again. Money started coming in. She rented her own place. She smiled again, but never fully. Back home, Michael wasted no time. He brought the woman he had been secretly seeing into the house and married her. Together, they raised Chisom, but instead of love, they fed her lies. Your mother ran away. She abandoned you. She never cared. Those words settled deep into Chisom's heart. Far away, Amara tried to reach her daughter. She called, she sent messages, she wrote long apology letters begging for just one conversation. But her calls were unanswered, her messages unread. Every rejection reopened an old wound. Still, Amara never stopped loving her child. Never. Time passed quietly, the way it always does, without asking anyone's permission. Chisom grew from a little girl into a beautiful young woman. She was tall, elegant, and carried herself with confidence, just like her mother. People often praised her beauty, but they did not know the weight she carried in her heart. All her life, she believed the same story, that her mother was wicked, that her mother abandoned her, that her mother chose freedom over her own child. Her father and stepmother repeated it so often that it became truth in her mind. They never spoke of the beatings. They never spoke of the fear. They never spoke of the night her mother ran out bleeding and broken. They made sure Chisom never questioned it. Far away, Amara watched her daughter grow through pictures on social media. Every new post felt like a blessing and a wound at the same time. She saved screenshots quietly, birthdays, graduations, smiling pictures she was never part of. Still, she tried. Amara sent messages with trembling fingers. She apologized again and again, even when she did not know what else to say. She begged for just one chance to explain. Please let me talk to you. Please hear me out. I never stopped loving you. But Chisom ignored every message. She blocked numbers. She deleted texts. She scrolled past her mother's words without reading them. To Chisom, her mother was a closed chapter, one she never wanted to open again. One evening, Amara saw something that made her heart skip. Chisom had posted an engagement picture. She was getting married. Amara cried that night, not from pain alone, but from pride. Her baby was becoming a wife. She whispered prayers for her daughter's happiness, even though she was not invited, not acknowledged, not welcomed. Still, a small hope rose in her heart. Maybe this moment would soften her daughter's heart. Maybe this would finally be the day she would be heard. And with that hope, Amara made a decision, one that would change everything. The morning of the wedding arrived quietly, dressed in sunlight and excitement. Amara woke up early. She had barely slept. Her heart was racing, filled with emotions she could not explain. She picked up her phone and stared at her daughter's number for a long time before pressing call. It rang and stopped. She tried again. No answer. Tears filled Amara's eyes, but she wiped them away quickly. Today was not about her pain. It was her daughter's day. She whispered a prayer for strength and made a decision she had been carrying in her heart for years. She would go to the wedding. Not to cause a scene, not to confront anyone, just to see her daughter, just to smile from afar. Amara dressed carefully, choosing a simple but elegant outfit. She held a small gift in her hands, her fingers shaking slightly. As she stepped into her car, her heart beat fast, not with fear, but with hope. Meanwhile, Chisom was surrounded by friends and family. Laughter filled the room as her makeup was done and her dress prepared. Her phone buzzed repeatedly, but she ignored it. She did not want anything to disturb her mood. When someone mentioned her mother's name in passing, she brushed it off. "I don't want to talk about her today," she said. Back on the road, Amara drove carefully. Her mind replayed every moment she wanted to explain, every truth she wanted her daughter to hear. Then it happened. A loud horn, a sudden flash, a speeding truck lost control. Amara tried to turn the steering wheel, but it was too late. The crash echoed through the road. Metal twisted, glass shattered, and in that violent moment, everything went silent. Amara's phone fell from her hand, her last call still open. At the wedding venue, whispers began to move through the crowd. A phone rang, then another. The music stopped, and the truth arrived, cold and cruel. Amara was gone. Chisom felt her knees weaken. Before anyone could catch her, she collapsed to the floor. When Chisom opened her eyes, the first thing she felt was pain, deep, crushing pain that sat heavy on her chest. The white walls of the hospital room blurred as tears rushed down her face. "Mommy," she whispered. The word broke her completely. Memories flooded her mind all at once. The ignored calls, the unread messages, the apology letters she never opened. For the first time in her life, doubt crept into her heart. What if everything she was told was a lie? She asked questions. She demanded answers. Slowly, the truth began to surface. Old neighbors spoke. A family friend remembered the bruises. A nurse who once treated Amara confirmed the injuries she had hidden. Her father could no longer speak. Her stepmother avoided her eyes. The lies collapsed under their own weight. Chisom screamed until her throat burned. She cried until her body shook violently. She beat her chest in regret, wishing she could turn time back. "My mother never abandoned me," she sobbed. She was running for her life. The realization crushed her. Days later, she stood before her mother's grave, dressed in black instead of white. The wedding dress was gone. The joy was gone. Only regret remained. "I'm sorry, Mommy," she cried, kneeling. "I should have listened. I should have given you one chance." But the wind was the only response. Amara left flowers every week. She read her mother's old messages again and again, holding her phone like it was her last connection. Life moved forward, but she carried the pain with her. Some lessons come too late, and some apologies are spoken to the grave. Never judge a story from one side. Silence does not always mean abandonment. It can mean survival. Always give people a chance to explain, because tomorrow is not promised.